Assalamu alaikum friends, the movie I will explain today is called The Seeding. The story of the movie is very beautiful. We all know good movies rarely come out. The story of the movie follows the story of a man named Wyndham Stone, who went to a desert for some work and while returning from there met a boy. His life changed when he met that boy. So let's watch the full video to know what happens. And if you are new to my channel then please subscribe my channel. So let's start the explanation of the movie. So at the very beginning of the film we see a child alone in this hot desert. And what is even more surprising is that the child is seen eating a human finger. And when the scene cuts, we see that Wyndham Stone has arrived in his car, which is hundreds of kilometers away from the human populated area. He got out of the car with his bag and camera accessories and moved to a higher place. Actually today is solar eclipse and that's why he came here mainly to capture this eclipse footage. Just as the footage was being taken, she started walking towards her car and met a boy as she walked. The child was sitting under a tree crying, which Wyndham was very moved to see. The child was crying and saying that I am lost. Wyndham was startled by his words and started to think that there was no one around, so where did the child come from? But maybe his parents had come somewhere in this Shamshan area to look for him. Wyndham started thinking that I can't see anyone around, so I should take the boy with me and start walking. Suddenly the boy started walking for some purpose and behind him Wyndham also started walking and the boy started telling Wyndham that my parents are ahead. Wyndham back and forth. He was going and saying stop, don't go there, but the boy didn't hear anything and started telling him again and again that my parents are in front. The child suddenly stopped while walking forward. The child stopped and told him to give me water, and with that he ran away. So we realize that the boy brought him to this place on purpose, and Wyndham realizes by now that he made a big mistake. He trapped the kid and he got lost in another place in this desert. It was already evening and he thought that if I continued towards the car, I would be completely lost in the darkness. And that's what he thought. He got lost in this desert and it gets very hot during the day and very cold at night. As he has no winter clothes to wear, he lies down on a mountain ridge to keep himself free from the cold. But in such an environment, sleep will not come. After a while he hears a voice, and as he follows the voice he goes and sees a huge hole, and inside the hole there is a house and there is a girl humming and singing into the house. There is a ladder to go down, and Wyndham goes down the ladder to see the curious sitter. Go down and see many strange things around the house. He went to the front door of the house and started knocking on the door. Hearing the knock, the girl did not come out and did not open the door. As Wyndham is in danger, he enters the house himself to speak with the girl. When she entered, she was still here, and when she saw Wyndham, she didn't say anything or anything. Wyndham said to the girl, look, I am lost, so I come to you for help. But the girl did not respond to him. At that time the girl was cooking. The girl said to Wyndham, come eat food, I am giving you food. As it was now late at night and very cold outside, Wyndham readily accepted the matter. But he is not eating. The girl's name was Elena and she didn't talk much. Wyndham said to the girl, I went forward to help a little boy, but the kid led me some distance and led me astray, and so I lost my way, which is why I came to you. Hearing this, Elena tells Wyndham that now you need to sleep, you should sleep. Wyndham was shocked to hear Elena's words. So he began to wonder how this girl could place a stranger so easily. Since Wyndham had nowhere else to go, he listened to Elena and agreed to spend the night at the house. Elena woos him by changing her clothes at night before his eyes. But he put these thoughts aside and fell asleep, and the next morning he was ready to go. And Elena was still sleeping, so he left some money at her house and left. He came out and saw that the ladder he had climbed down last night was no longer there. This place is very quiet and surrounded by mountains, and there is no way out of it in sight. And the truth is that there was no way out. He does not understand what is happening. Since Elena lives here, he goes to Elena and asks where is the staircase that was at night now. At first Elena was not giving any answer. Then she said, I don't know anything about these things. But the stairs are sometimes here and they take them too. Hearing this, Wyndham said to him, are there more people here? Elena does not talk to him about this. And then Wyndham was taking pictures of the surroundings with his camera. Suddenly his eyes fell on a picture carved in stone, where a man's throat was cut. Wyndham tries hard to get up the hill but cannot go, so he is forced to stay here for the second night. But he did not give up and took a hammer from that house and tried to climb the hill again. But as there was no rope, he could not climb the guard. And then he hears a noise, and the noise is like the noise of children. Suddenly a severed head of a goat is hurled at him, causing him to lose his concentration, and he falls straight down the hill. And as he fell from a great height, he got hit very hard and fainted. And he lay there all day. When he regained consciousness, he screamed in pain, because that hammer went into his leg. But all day Elena did not come to him for help. But when Wyndham was suffering a lot, she came to him to help and took the hammer out of his leg. For 2 days Wyndham lay in bed. When his body feels better, he tries to leave again. He came out and started screaming loudly and said, if there is someone from above, help me. Elena comes out of the room hearing the screams, and Wyndham tells her, who are you and what are you doing to me? Elena says, don't worry, I will take care of you and give you food. But I understand that I don't need any of these, says Wyndham. I just need to get to my destination. And tell the truth, what you have started with me. Elena tries to convince him a lot, but Wyndham tells her to get away from him. When Wyndham sat in the shade under a tree shortly after, a boy asked him from the top of the hill, friend, do you need anything? You tell me you called for help, so I came. Wyndham was relieved to see the boy. He said to the boy, I am trapped here, will you help me? And the boy said, yes, of course, I will help you, tell me what you need. So tell the Wyndham boy, can you get a rope and pull me up with it? There was another little boy with that boy, and that little boy asked him, my sister asked, what color do you like? And Wyndham felt very strange after hearing this. Still, Wyndham said that I like red color a lot, but will you help me? The boy said, okay, I am going to bring the rope, you wait here. And just like that, Wyndham waited there. Shortly after that, the boy threw a rope at him. The boy tells him to tie himself tight with the rope. Hearing this, Wyndham felt a little relieved and thought that he could finally go out. Then the boy started lifting Wyndham up and stopped midway. And Wyndham immediately realized that these were the people who had trapped him here. Among them were 5 adults and 1 small child. And here was the boy we saw at the beginning of the movie who led Wyndham astray. And they all began to torture Wyndham a lot. Wyndham is very afraid of things. And he started shouting, stop now, stop, I'm going to fall down. And then she started shouting, Elena, Elena. Elena comes in and she abuses the kids in her own language. But Wyndham already faints, because his head hit a stone. Elena brought him home and put him on rest. And suddenly Wyndham regained consciousness. And as soon as he regained consciousness, he tried to go out again. He doesn't want to stay here anymore. He tries hard to get out of this hell. He falls to the ground and the pain in his leg increases manifold. Elena comes out and tries to convince him. See what happened, accept it as the truth. Hearing the words, it can be understood that Elena is also trapped in this web like him. Maybe he also tried a lot to get out, but finally he gave up and learned to live here. Wyndham realizes that there is no way out of here like this. So he forgot all that and started planting vegetables outside to keep himself well. And Elena would feed him, wash his clothes, and take care of him. And Wyndham stayed here. The children who hanged him here, those children used to give food and all the necessary things from above with the help of a rope. But there was no help for them to get out of here. When Wyndham asks Elena, "Who are these children?" "They are giving us food," Elena says. "I don't know any of them. Food is needed, so they give food. I need to eat, so I eat food." Wyndham drinks to forget his pains. When he wants to eat more, Elena stops him. And Wyndham gets angry at being interrupted. He gets angry and says, "I am not a child boy who will do whatever you say. I will drink to my heart's content, and I am a man." And in the meantime, Elena took off her clothes and became Langata. And Wyndham, unable to control himself, starts having sex with her. And continued to have sex all night. In the next scene we see that it is morning. And since Wyndham has no way out, he returns to observe his planted vegetables. And from above again came the child, who heard her cry and came to help. But this kid was a little different from all the kids. So Wyndham started talking to the boy so that they became a good friend. So that the boy can help him to get out. The boy says the boy's name is Liban, and he is very interested in studying. "So will you teach me?" So Wyndham said, "Of course I will teach, you can come to me whenever you want." The boy pulls a thing from above. Opening it, Wyndham sees that there is a ring and car keys. Seeing them, he could not understand that many other people were stuck here before him. And they may have died here. During the night they were talking about various things with Elena. While talking, Wyndham suddenly notices a picture of a woman hanging on the wall. He says, "Is this your mother's picture?" Elena says, "No, it's a picture of mother first." Elena's words seemed strange to him. And Elena says, "I am pregnant." And after hearing all these strange words, Wyndham tells him, "You are doing all this on purpose." Elena says, "Only I don't want. Both of us wanted them." Hearing the words, Wyndham began to suffer a lot. The scene cuts to the next day, where Gino has destroyed the vegetables he planted, and Elena is there to fix them herself. Just then the boy from above called to Wyndham, and as Wyndham approached, he said, "Explain to me a little about this matter." Wyndham then says, "It can't be understood from below. Whatever you do, you lift me up. I will take you to the city and get you admitted in a famous and expensive school there. You lift me up." The boy then says, "It is not possible for me. Because if they see, they will kill me. But Elena should not feel anything. I will come to help you when he sleeps or is busy with something, be ready." Wyndham then says, "Okay, I will stay like that." While they were talking, a boy came up from behind and grabbed him and yelled at Wyndham. And left with the boy. Wyndham hated Elena very much in her heart for her life. He thought Elena might be to blame. Wyndham keeps telling Elena a lot of information about the city. Elena also wants to know a lot about the city with great interest. So here it is clear that Elena never left here. And he knows nothing about the city. Wyndham shows Elena many pictures of the outdoors and the solar eclipse. Elena is very happy to see them and gets a lot of joy. In the morning, Elena finds a body hanging on the mountain. And seeing that, he started shouting like crazy in his local language. Wyndham goes outside and sees the kid who wants to help him. And he was killed and hanged. And seeing this, he gets a lot of fear and pain. Elena tells Wyndham, "This was my baby. And because of you my child died." It says that Wyndham was hit on the head with a stick, knocking him unconscious. And kept Wyndham in a cage for 9 months. Wyndham has become beastly in captivity. Elena did not kill him but kept him in a cage. One night, Wyndham sees many children. Seeing these, he tells Arena that you can never handle everything alone. So I need you. Elena says, "I don't need you. I will arrange everything myself." Wyndham begged desperately to reach his feet. Says to him, "By all means release me from here. I will be your slave. I will do whatever you say. I will be the father of your unborn child. Believe me, I can't stand this life anymore. Set me free." But Elena tells him, "You are nothing. You are just a seed. and the seeds are always blown by the wind. Windham then tells Elena, what do you really want? Either free me or kill me. But please don't leave me like this. Saying these he started shouting. And Elena leaves from there. Then the day came, the day of Elena's delivery. Unable to bear the pain of childbirth, she frees Windham. And help me. And seeing such a situation, Windham is ready to help Elena. Since Windham was released from captivity almost a year later, he was having difficulty walking. The surprising thing here is that when Windham goes to help Elena, he sees the ladder in the same place as before. But he doesn't dwell on that, he helps Elena. And Elena miscarries and has a baby. And seeing that child, they both became very happy. And just then those kids come down. And with a sword cut down his neck like an inhuman. The children kept saying, Mother, we do all this for you. And Elena is silent. He doesn't say anything. The scene changes and is shown after a few days. And it can be seen that Elena is taking care of her newborn baby very lovingly. And scene comes out to find Windham's body lying there with his throat cut. And as soon as this scene is shown, the movie ends here. Well, let me tell the story more briefly. All the children we see in this movie are Elena's. And they are all bastards. And in this place a long time ago a woman lived. And one by one men were brought to this place like this. And those who were unable to control themselves would have children while satisfying their physical needs. They were killed just like that. One thing to notice is that although the mother is the same, the children have different looks. Elena is no victim here. Instead, everything happens here according to Elena's words, which Elena's mother had taught her. But the kid who came to help Windham, he wasn't psycho like these kids. His mentality was good. And the way Elena was crying like crazy, he actually asked to kill the boy in his language. And so the children killed that boy. And Elena's way of life is to live like this. So he loves to do them. In fact, they are all psychos. The picture of the woman inside the room, that is the woman who first started these events. And since then this trend continues. I hope you like my explanation of this movie. If you like the story, then definitely give a like. If you don't like it, give it a dislike. And comment which movie explanation you want to see next. Everyone will be fine. So we will meet with the story of a new movie.